Well, happy Saturday, folks. The real Captain Kirk here. It's the 2nd of March, 2024 here. We're live from a gloomy Bethlehem, Pennsylvania here today. It's very rainy. Only about 8 days here until we spring forward. Daylight savings time starts here in about a little over 8 days. Spring, only about 17 days and say 15 hours from today. So again, it's coming quickly. Real quick, for our FarmCast clients, again, hundreds of you farmers out there, we updated page 5, again, all the business intelligence, farm intelligence for the year ahead, what we see in specific zip codes all across the U.S. Again, so check that out. Page 5 should be now populated on your reports. Looking at last week, world summer here, going ending here today, 2 March. Here in the U.S., 2.3 warmer than last year, warmest in 24, second warmest 39, so much above average temperatures. Wetter, 29% wetter, wettest in 6, sixth wettest in 39. Snowfall down 57%, least in 3, seventh least in 39 years. Real cold spots would be there and across parts of Siberia and especially China and Middle East. Wet spots even down there in Brazil. Again, they finally got the wettest in 8 years, third wettest in 39 years. So good news for some of the crop regions across Brazil. Maps inset left are the trends versus average, and the big maps here are the trends versus last year. Look at this week here. Again, the theme here, the front half of March, again, looks to be the wettest in over 40 years. So extremely wet, near record wet for the U.S. as a whole. So here in the U.S., about 4.5 warmer than last year, warmest in 24, third warmest in 39 years. A little misleading here because just like last week where we had sub-zero temperatures in the plains and then right back to 60s and 70s, not to say that there won't be some cold snaps in this overall warmer pattern, even this next weekend here in the Northeast. Looks interesting because there could be just enough cold air and moisture, storms to make some snow for sure in New England, maybe in as far south as here in eastern Pennsylvania. Snowfall overall, though, expected for the next week, down 54%, least in 3 years, 13th least in 39. Rainfall way up, 108% over last year, wettest in 13, third wettest in 39 years. So also need to start worrying about the severe weather season. We've seen some of that here this past week. Again, tornadoes, hail, winds, all that good stuff here for spring. It looks to be extremely active with this very strong El Nino jet stream industry. So again, flooding and severe weather is going to be the theme here this spring. Right now, temporarily, we got a little bit of fire activity, actually. Again, we have a product on Weather Trends 360 that goes out to some of our clients, again, talking about fire danger risk, and certainly had that in the Texas, New Mexico, and the southwest there. So again, big raging fire here across that region. Looks like the humidity increases a bit, so this might diminish a bit. Hopefully the firefighters can get some help. Humidity is always a big thing. If it gets a little more moisture in the air, it can help slow down the spread of that fire. Look at the 6-day snowfall trends. We got a big storm here pounding the west. Sierra's just getting pummeled here with heavy snow, feet of snow. That spreads into the central Rockies here tomorrow. And then the whole system kind of begins to fizzle. Still some snow in California, so it's going to, again, snowy in the high elevations for sure. Some spills out into the high plains here, but not much. And again, some flurry activity here in the Thursday. Again, got to watch the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday time frame next week in New England and even parts of the southern Northeast. Overall, the 6-day total here is, again, 38% less than last year, least in 3, 11th least in 39. Snow for about 30% of the U.S. population. Look at this week, next week here, week ending 16 March. U.S. same general trend, 7.8 warmer than last year, warmest in 8, 7th warmest in 39 years, so above average temperatures. 83% less snow than last year, least in 8, 7th least in 39. Again, you see pockets of that in the Northeast. We'll see, again, pockets in the Poconos, maybe even the Ohio Valley here. So we got to watch the system just very marginally cold enough as we get toward the weekend, and with a lot of moisture in place. Certainly potential for some wet snow, even in parts of the coastal Northeast. Rainfall again way up there, 32% more than last year, wettest in 8 years, fifth wettest in 39 years. So again, got to watch that severe weather threat. Polar vortex is still symmetrical here, but it's got moments where it splits off again, starting to weaken in its spring. Spring will just completely fall apart here at some point. So little chunks, kind of getting close to Canada and the U.S. So we'll see if there's just enough cold air to maybe help bring in a couple more snowstorms here before winter is all said and done. And we just aggregate these world 2-week out trends through 16th of March. Again, general theme is, again, warm east, cooler west, cool there in parts of central, southwest Russia. But in the maps, inset left are the precip trends. We'll end here with a 2024 outlook for what we put out for some of our insurance customers and prospects. Again, unfortunately, with El Nino jet stream and all that massive energy, there's severe weather threat is just potentially off the scale here. We're projecting the most in 7 years for billion-dollar disasters here in the U.S. So we'll end today's video with a little promotional video on what we see for 2024 for the insurance industry. With that, folks, have a great week, and we'll be back here again this time next week.
Weather Trends International is projecting a much more disastrous year in 2024 that will have major implications for the insurance industry. 500 plus clients already know what's coming both in terms of the weather and exactly how it will impact their businesses through January 2025. NOAA says 2023 was a bad year with $28 billion disasters, but the $93 billion in damages was actually 27% below average and the least in 4 years. That's about to change in 2024, with a hurricane season more like 2017 and 2020, floods more like 2019 and 1993, severe weather and tornadoes like 2011, and severe winter cold and storms more like 2013, 2014. Weather Trends 500 plus clients in insurance, financial services, retail, seasonal suppliers, pharma, and agriculture know what's coming week by week out a year across 32 million locations worldwide. Let's hear what Chuck Grom, a longtime client, has to say.
In addition to Weather Trends' overall forecast, they do an excellent job forecasting the hurricanes, and not just the number of storms, but by region. And that's important for the couple companies we cover, Home Depot and Lowe's in particular, who can benefit during periods of disruption. And so we take that information, his regional analysis, and allocate it to store overlap, which helps us say who we think can benefit more from the storms, and more importantly, where those storms are going to hit. The reason we use Weather Trends versus some of the other weather predictors out there is because Bill's been right. And Bill's been right for 10 years, 10, 15 years, and he's right 6 months out, 12 months out, doesn't change his forecast, sticks to it, and as a result, he's been critical to our work.
AI can't do what we do a year ahead with predictive business weather analytics that don't change once issued. Spring 2024, widespread severe weather impact, and it's starting early. December 2024, the start of winter-related damage claims going into 2025. Add it all up, $286 billion in damage risk in 2024, the most in 7 years. Are you ready? Let's talk.